Welcome back to another episode of DNC Reviews. I'm Arjun. As you know, we also have Ronan and Seung with us here today. And today we are doing a review of Playboi Carti's debut album in 2018, Die Lit. I'ma go fuck that bitch. I'ma go dash that bitch. Shawty gon' suck this dick. Shawty gon' suck. So let's get right into it. Ronan, what are your favorite and least favorite tracks on this thing?
My favorite would be No Time with Gunna.
Alright.
And my least favorite, maybe the one with Nicki Minaj, Poke It Out.
Nicki Minaj is ruining every single song that she's on, I swear. Like, she's like pregnant now, I think.
Hold up.
Yeah, it's weird. Like she was on that 6ix9ine joint, which is so bad. Yeah, for me, my favorite track is Lean for Real with Skepta. The song is so good. And my least favorite track is No Time featuring
NANI?
The Big One.
Bruh.
No song, what about you?
Yeah, my favorite was Fell in Love featuring Bryson Tiller. And my least was with the one with Red Cold Hearted, Middle of Summer.
Oh, Middle of the Summer?
Yeah, that was my least favorite.
Solid picks. Ronan, why do you like No Time?
I don't know. To me, it puts me in like a trance. Like I'm like I like the beat and like the production, and sometimes when I like the beat, I want minimal rapping and all that. And I thought Carti's verses were very short, and that was perfect for me, and just puts me in a trance for me. Yeah. Why don't you like it?
I mean, I just feel like it was so boring.
Oh,
I mean,
boring.
maybe that boring quality is like a good thing because it put you in a quote unquote trance. But for me, I kind of go to Playboi Carti for his energy, and I did like this is like a sleep like this is sleep rap. I don't know. And then when Gunna came in, who's being clowned right now, like all over social media.
Bruh.
Thick boy.
I just couldn't tell. Yeah, I just couldn't tell the difference between the two of their voices, which is weird. And the beat was just like the same loop, which was like that's what you get when you get Pierre Bourne, but it is what it is. I really wasn't feeling this project. As a project, I wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed maybe 5 songs, but that's out of a track list of 19. So if you do math and carry the 1, then you can't really give the album a really high score. I feel like the production outshines Playboi Carti on every single song. Like if this was a beat tape, this would be a 10. I feel like the beats are really innovative, especially R.I.P, which just knocks. It really catches you off guard. Lean for Real, that sample is like super haunting. Shoota, it's a great beat, really like a feel good song with Uzi. Pull Up is great beat, Flatbird freestyle. TikTok ruined that song for me.
Hold up.
Really ruined that song for me, but it's still a banger. Chopper Won't Miss with Thug, like there's so much energy and ad libs, and it just really works. And R.I.P. Fredo, like the beats are great, but they're
Can't forget Long Time.
Oh.
Long Time.
I'm
All the
very
memes.
I'd rather die before I come alive.
The beats but I just didn't really like how Carti was like rapping on it. Bought a crib from my mama off this mumbling shit, which is sort of like a f you to anyone who was calling him like a mumble rapper or whatever. But he was kind of proving the critic's point, you know? He's like, I ain't been like this in a long time. I don't know. I just feel like that whole inflection throughout the whole song was not that good. I mean, I can see why people would like it, why people would like vibe to it or whatever, but it just was not for me. Yeah.
So when I first heard this album in like, what was it, 2018 when it dropped?
Yeah.
I really hated this album. I thought it was a terrible album, right? Like when I found like certain songs off this album from like Instagram memes and all that, then I started to feel like, wait, this song actually kind of slaps. And that made me think that I know this album is not that good in terms of content, but it kind of changed the rap game. Like, because by this time Playboi Carti became more kind of popular among like the main media. And then he dropped this album, like this whole baby rap thing became more common after that album.
I mean, yeah, you could attribute that to this album, but Playboi Carti has been influenced his influences are like Thug. I mean, that's like pretty much it. I feel him, Lil Baby, and the big one are all like they're clones of Young Thug. And they just sort of add like a slight variant to it. That's why I hate Lil Baby and the other one because and their music because I can get better quality music from Thug, but that's for another video. I don't know. I feel like when this dropped, I was actually with Song like on the day that this dropped, and we like heard some of the songs together,
Oh
and
yeah.
like yeah, and I don't know. I can't say I love the album. I don't know. It's just sort of like a meh album. There's some bangers. There's some tracks where I'm like, can it please be over? And there's some tracks I just hate.
I don't think you could expect a lot of lyrics from this guy. He could rap about anything on
I
Pierre
know, but like
Bourne's beat, and then people are just gonna be like,
yeah.
"Yo, that's a vibe, sending me to another
Yeah,
eternal space."
I mean, obviously, I'm not trying to get like King Kunta'd on this album, but at
Yeah,
the same time, it has to mean something, you know?
true.
I feel like if you're an artist, it like your music has to mean something. And when I listen to Old Money, KOD, or Top, like, oh my God, these songs are so bad and monotonous and just so like derivative and I hate it. Those three songs I hate so much. It's like a nothing song. It's like he just like it's a reference track. He just shat on the beat and he just put it with the rest of the album. Like Top with Pierre Bourne. That's the last track of the album. That's the closer, and the beat sounds like a someone threw a bunch of utensils into like a garbage bag and like shook it all up for 30 minutes and put some hi-hats and snares on it and then Pierre Bourne comes on it. I think that Pierre should just stick to producing. I really don't like his voice at all. Home KOD, if people like that song, I just don't understand what's going on with that song. He says like where the like bring the money home, like I've been waiting for you or whatever, and he repeats that line throughout the entire song, and the beat isn't even that good. It's like it's B minus at best. Those three songs are what bring the album down for me by a huge level because it just shows you what Playboi Carti's thinks is okay to drop, you know?
Like, if you want to resolve that problem of like Cardi not providing any content as a musician, I just think maybe like Cardi's voice is like an instrument part of the beat. Then it's just like I just ignore
But
that he's a person.
that doesn't excuse him from making bad music though. I don't know, because I spoke to some of my friends about this. Like they were all like, "Bro, Cardi's just like a vibe, man. Like you just have to allow him to like do his thing." And then I don't know, something about that just infuriates me because I like Playboi Carti. I think he's a cool person, even though he's like delaying this whole album and may postpone it until 2021. No big deal. But I don't like when people cut him so much slack for just doing nothing. I think that he got a majority of the profits for this album, and Pierre Bourne should get 90%, if that, even like maybe even more
Yeah, I
because
agree with that. Yeah.
carried this album. He carried this album on every single beat that he produced. He just went off, and Cardi just had to do like a half-ass job, and there you have an album. You have like a platinum album. Yeah, but going back to my some of the highlights on here, R.I.P. Lean for Real. R.I.P. is like an anthem. Lean for Real. When I heard it for the first time, just like the beat is so haunting and it's different, which is what I really like. It's not like a plain old synth with an 808 or whatever. It's really like energetic and sort of suspenseful. And then Skepta comes in. I was not expecting this collab to work, but it did. Skepta comes in with a great verse, and yeah, Playboi Carti just closes it out. Even though he says like I'm gonna lean for real like 100 times in the song, it works because the way that he's saying it is actually interesting and sort of what Ronan was saying. Like it puts you in a trance. But I feel like the lean for real trance is better than the no time trance. And then we have Shuda, which is everyone's favorite because of Uzi and Cardi just going back and forth. And yeah, that's just a feel good song. I actually really enjoyed that one, and that sort of rounds out like the 3, 4, 5 tracks that I really enjoyed, and then every other track is just okay for me. I know that people do enjoy this album. It's considered like a trap classic, but I just don't know if it's worthy of that title just yet. Yes,
I don't know
like
about a classic yet. I
yeah,
wouldn't give it the classic title yet.
yeah. Like the one thing that I'm happy that this album highlights is how diverse hip hop is and sort of the extremes that it can go to. We started with boom bap in the 80s and 90s, and now we're all the way over here where people are like literally like becoming different animals on beats and just doing whatever they want. I'm glad to see that hip hop is evolving. I'm glad to see that people are. I mean, it's all thanks to Young Thug. I'm glad to see that people don't care anymore, and they're willing to push the envelope purely just because they don't give a and purely just because they can. And this is a perfect example of what hip hop in the next 10 years is going to start to sound like. Like you got 645 AR who's out here sounding like a chipmunk. In terms of hip hop on a grander scale, I think that this album is very important to show that you can do whatever you want and you don't have to stay in this like gangster like hood lane, which is super cool.
I have a question. It's
Absolutely.
kind of off topic, but what's one of the weirdest rap songs or hip hop songs you've ever heard?
I was listening to this JPEG Mafia joint the other day called, and the song's called, I can't even say the title. It's Real and then Nega, right? And so it's off of his album, his first album in 2018 that really blew up. And this guy he samples this guy, like, you know how we have like that low rumble in our voice, like when you just like strain it like that. So this guy sampled himself doing that, but then like getting louder progressively and then just screaming at the end, and it was like an 8 bar loop. And then he would loop that with some drums and then rap over it, and it was just crazy. I just never expected that to happen. How about you?
Yeah, definitely some like a lot of JPEG Mafia songs are like kind of confusing to me. Like they sometimes they have no structure at all, but I mean that's a vibe, I guess. But
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I love
some
JPEG
some
Mafia,
people
man.
like that. I've also heard a guy who like literally got angry on the beat. Like he first sounded like mumbling, and then he was like, dude actually got so mad, and then the song ended. Yeah,
Which song was that?
I forgot. I was like, it was like a Spotify recommended, and like it just came up, and I was like cycling, so I couldn't really change the song, and I was like, what's going on? The weirdest thing.
Is he okay? Like,
Oh yeah, he's fine. And then, oh, I gotta tell you about. So my brother was like, listening has this. He has this whole Uzi playlist, right? And he's like a really big Uzi fan. He genuinely thinks Uzi is the goat of the entire generation, right? And he has this one Uzi song that's like, I don't know how it got created, but it's a collab with this like little kid, and the little kid's mic is like terrible. It sounds like it sounds like me recording a song off this right now. That's how bad it
yeah.
is. And then, but Uzi's vocals are fine, and the bars are actually pretty nice. But he's like, man, that song really slaps, bro. And I heard it.
Damn.
But people letting Uzi get away with whatever he wants.
Yeah.
I
And like,
mean,
I go to Instagram, it's like, yo, Uzi dropped some fire on this song, and then it's like, I mean, you could
bro,
say it's fire, but it sounds like
like
every other
I
Uzi
I
song.
went on the rap Instagram because they were doing like different polls for whichever artist was better, and it was Uzi against Jay-Z, and Uzi got like 80% of the votes. And I was like, this is
Damn.
what's wrong with this
Yeah.
generation.
Here's
They
the
just
thing,
don't.
like, Uzi fans are really like diehard Uzi fans. Like I think like Cardi fans they could kind of go between Young Thug and Uzi, but Uzi fans they only listen to Uzi. That's what I
Like,
noticed. Yeah.
I
All right,
don't know.
back to the question.
I'd say Muh from Playboi Carti, from such a famous
Bro,
rapper. Like, how is he
man.
dropping such a
Man,
ass song?
Like the music video was so sus.
Yo,
The whole time.
his hand movement was so feminine.
He
It
was like,
was so. Yeah.
I don't know.
it was weird, man.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's doing. I hope he's okay. I think he just had a son, so good for him. But this album, man, Die Lit, it ain't it, man. It really ain't it. Maybe if I'm like about to sleep, play it at a very low volume and just like sleep, that could be nice potentially because none of the beats or vocals are too like rash or anything like that. So I mean, other than that, man, this album is really not that good. I picked out a handful of songs that I actually do enjoy and I play pretty regularly, but other than that, I'm not really a fan of this album. I'm a fan of Playboi Carti. I was a fan of the first album, the self-titled tape, but this one's just different and it's much longer.
Have you heard like Whole Lotta Red leaks?
Just a quick reminder, I don't like listening to leaks, so I didn't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, like every day. I go on YouTube, like people posting like not a whole lot of red, and it's like a 3-hour video of all these leaks. I'm like, this is why Playboi Carti's not dropping, man.
What do you think about those songs?
They're actually good. I think that those are
You
good.
enjoy those?
All the leaks like Skeletons, like Molly, like Neon, Cancun.
It's something
Lots
I
of good
noticed
leaks.
is Whole Lotta Red is kind of more like colorful and like it's got more to the entire song. Like Dialect had a lot of songs that were just kind of plain.
Yeah, and like all the songs on the Whole Lot of Red leaks are shorter, which I love.
Yeah.
Because you don't need a 4-minute song of Playboi Carti doing nothing. Like it needs to be max 2.5 minutes, and that's what he did on the Whole Lot of Red leaks. Let's see what happens on the actual tape. He's like changing it every day. I don't know. It is what it is. What I have to say is like the beats just carried this album. Playboi Carti deserves some credit for putting Pierre Bourne on, but other than that, he deserves no credit at all. Yeah, so do we want to do final ratings and all that? Thoughts? Hoseong, do you want to start?
For me, I think it was really trendy. He showed some improvement in his delivery, flow, and styles. And yeah, the beat kind of carried him, to be honest. It's easy to approach like the album. Like I don't have to listen to them in order, like the Kendrick Lamar album. So yeah, but the lyrics were kind of meaningless, I guess. So yeah, I'll give a 6.5 out of 10.
Respectable. Yeah, for me, this album just was not it compared to the last one, especially. Um, Lyrically, there's nothing there for me. Flow wise, it's alright. The beats carried, but sadly, that is not enough to make a 19-track, almost hour-long album of nothingness, of just like this blob of just like rap, but that's not really like rap. I did pick out a handful of tracks that I said before that I actually did enjoy, but the rest of the tracks just didn't really do anything for me. I really hope that on Whole Lot of Red he does a lot better, and I want him to do well because he's getting a really bad rep, especially after that Pain 1993 feature. Like, holy shit. That was so bad. He's like, racks all in my jeans. And I was like, no, that ain't it. But yeah, I like some of the features, but like Chief Keef, that was a dope ass feature. But and Uzi, the Travis song sucked. I'm sorry, that beat was so bad, and then Travis did nothing for me. But yeah, overall, it wasn't too bad. It was decent. Would I recommend people to hear this album out? Absolutely. I think it's important that people expand their horizons musically, especially when it comes to their taste. But yeah, other than that, this album didn't really do anything for me. I can see why people enjoy it. I can see why it may be appealing to people, but for me, it just wasn't it. So for those reasons, I'm gonna give this album a 5 out of 10.
Well, it's DNC reviews. We're reviewing albums, not singles. If we were reviewing singles, I might give out 6s and 7s, but we're reviewing albums. I know, like, I heard this song. I said I heard this song, like, this album 2018. I actually never finished the album, to be honest. I was like, okay, skip it. Like, I understand what's going on here. So, with that in mind, I'll give it a 4.5.
Jeez, low. Damn. All right. Well, let's hope that he improves, man. I just want to see, like, there's nothing wrong with releasing good music. Like, just go ahead and do it, man.
I
But
mean, that's what we thought about Uzi before he dropped EA. We really didn't like him. He was like acting all weird.
yeah,
So
people didn't like EA, but I actually enjoyed it. It's fire.
no, I mean, like before EA, like people are like saying that was acting kind of weird,
Oh
and
yeah,
like we're
yeah, yeah.
skeptic about how like when Uzi's gonna drop EA. So let's just hope the same thing happens for Cardi.
I hope so. I mean, the Drake feature, usually when people get a Drake feature, that's like that makes their whole like rap career. Cardi did it and everyone was like, "Who the is that?" I was like, yeah. All right. So that pretty much wraps everything up. The overall consensus from all of us on this album was it could have been much better, beats carried, and overall it was eh. You can hear it out. It's not too harsh of a listen compared to other albums, but don't expect to be blown away. That's what you should know. So yeah, that concludes the review of Playboi Carti's 2018 album Die Lit, and yeah, thank you so much for watching. Go watch our other videos and comment because we enjoy those and we love to talk to you about whatever. Don't just compliment us. Please talk about the album, you know?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
like
do
to
you guys
hear
have
your
it?
opinions,
Exactly.
and
So,
we're fine with criticism. I mean,
yeah,
it's
please,
cool. It's
please,
cool.
please. Yeah, yeah, it's cool. We encourage all this
Yeah,
debate and all that. Like, that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
we do. So, please, yeah, your support so far has been great. And we just hope to continue this and keep the momentum going, keep the ball rolling. So, all right, man. Well, goodbye.
I be flyer than a bitch, I be flyer than a bitch. Please don't talk down on me, got pistola on my hip. I be flyer than a bitch, I be flyer than a bitch. Please don't talk down.